Hi, in this video tutorial I'm going to show you how to make and folds for the gift bag, just like this. And the idea of the gift bag is that it's made from one complete sheet of A4 card and is really easy to do, really easy to put together, and makes perfect for a gift. And using die cuts you can really decorate this up. So I've got the measurements here in front of me, and effectively, as I say, we're using one full sheet of A4 card, and we're going to score. I've got the measurements on here, so it's 3 3/4, 4 3/4, 5 3/4, 9 1/2, 10 1/2, and 11 1/2 inches, and that gives us the fold pieces that we need and the strip for the side. So I'm going to start with this one. So I'm going to take the piece of card, I'm going to score at 3 3/4 inches and just give it a good score. Then the next measurement is 4 3/4 inches. So effectively we're giving an inch there. We're going to go then to 5 3/4 inches. So we're giving an inch and an inch, so that will give you the fold in the middle. So the bag will actually be 3 3/4 inches by 2 inches open. So then we need to go again for another 3 3/4. So that measurement is 9 1/2. Then obviously it's at 10 1/2, and then at 11 1/2, and that leaves a really nice little sort of 1/4 inch strip to adhere it at the side. Then we simply turn it round onto the long way, so we've got it now portrait in our scoreboard, and we score down at 2 inches, and that gives us the base. And basically the measurement here needs to be the same as the measurement of these two side pieces, and that's what gives it a complete strength and makes it actually square off in a way. So I'm going to remove my scoreboard and we'll do the folds for this. So all you need to do is basically take each one and fold each line. So the first one we fold out, the next one we fold in, we fold the next one sort of out again, and as you can see there, that gives us that side. It's sort of like the gusset of it. We do the same on the other side, fold, fold, and then we simply fold in this strip around the side. Now it is quite small, so you just need to take a little bit of time on that one, and I would really burnish this fold. And by burnish I mean use your score tool and really give it a good fold. I think I've gone off a little bit there, won't make a difference, just put that down. So next I'm going to open that out, and you can see then the basic front, back and the two sides gussets on there. And we then simply need to fold the base. So again, we fold that up and fold that in. So if you're using a piece of paper or card that has a sort of pattern on it, or like this, I'm using the Crafts 2 linen cards, it's got a linen texture, I want that to be on the outside, so it makes it a little bit easier because I'm folding that in. So next we need to remove the sections where it would overlap. It just makes it a little bit thick. So I'm going to cut out effectively the two side panels. So this is the bottom base piece, and I'm cutting out the side panels. I do the same here, and with what we do with this one is we don't need the little flap at the side there. So we cut all of that off. So effectively now we've got a piece of A4 card with these two pieces removed from it, and that's your basic fold. And it's at this point we would put any die cut pieces in, and if you want to get what is the front, I would say use this second panel, because that way any of the glue is at the back and the folds, so you've got a really clean front panel. So what I would do is I would pop my die on, and then I would cut that out and into the card, put a contrasting colour behind. So we'll just tape that on, and I'll just run that through my die cutting machine. I'm using an A4 machine just for ease, but if you need to and using a smaller machine, you can fold that over and cut it that way, and it will leave you a lovely impression in the back. But for speed and for this, I'm just going to pop this through an A4 machine. So while that's running through, you do need to measure your die. So you need to measure the die, and you need to make sure that you've cut a piece of contrasting card that is effectively a little bit larger than the actual die cut aperture you're cutting, but also is smaller than the size of your bag. So in this occasion, the bag is 3 3/4 inches. So I've cut this square to 3.5 inches so that it doesn't exactly touch the sides and it gives nice clearance for the bag to fold. And all I'm doing now is I'm just adding a little bit of this is power tape, which is a very, very strong double-sided adhesive, all the way around the 4 sides, again to make sure that it's glued on properly. So there we go. We'll pop that to one side for the minute. We'll pull out our die cut piece. And here we go. So I've got my die cut piece. We'll just take the die off and I'm going to flick out or just release all of the little die cuts from here. So I've used this is the mini stars from Sam's Choice limited edition collection by John Next Door. But you could use any sort of similar die or any die like this that fits, that actually cuts into the card, doesn't cut the card out. Obviously, if this cut the outside out, then it would just leave a big panel. So you want a piece like this or a die like this that cuts into the card. From the John Next Door collection, the Renmore and the Avonmore would be beautiful for this. They're really nice small dies that cut a beautiful trellis in. So there we go. Just take those last few pieces out. There's always one that gets stuck a little bit, so we'll just take those away. And there we've got our panel. I'm just going to clean up my card using the Crafts 2 glue eraser, which just gets any marks of glue off and any little dark spots that may come from your plates. Okay, and we're going to then turn that over, and I want to pop this panel in. So it's really simple. I'm going to just remove the adhesive tape around all 4 sides, and you can glue this in, but you will find, because it moves quite a lot, I do find that tape's really good, because obviously you're going to be sliding a gift into this, or chocolates or sweets or something potentially, so you don't want things to get caught. And I'm just going to put a little bit of the power tape as well on the back of the design where it's solid. So this, I've got the star, so let's just pop these onto the star. I'll just put a couple of pieces on for speed. And doing it this way means that it's a lot easier than trying to work out where on this square you're going to actually put your pieces. So there we go. Let's get this right. Oh, well done. Every time I do a demo, power tape never goes wrong, apart from when I'm demoing it and doing video. So we just pop that on all the way around, and we can see on the front then we've got that beautiful satin colour behind it. And you could decorate the back the same, and at this point I would decorate the front with anything else that you want to. All I'm then going to do is add some power tape along on the front of this little flap that we have, what is on now the right hand side. And what I want to do with the base is I want to fold this piece over again to keep that clean edge on the front. If I fold that way, you'll see the fold. So I want to hold that one, turn it over, and again I'm going to put a little bit of power tape on this to glue it together. And I'm using a slightly thicker one. I think this is the 9mm. So we just go again all the way around there, just to make sure that this is adhered properly. So we'll come to that point, and we'll come to this point, just like that. And then again, I would reveal all of the adhesive when you're making anything like this at this point. Don't think, oh, I'll get it half folded and then I'll take the tape off. It isn't actually easier. That can make it a lot more difficult. You've just got to be careful not to stick it down to anything. So what I would do first is to fold that piece over just like that, and then match it at the top and press down, and match it at the bottom and press down, and you can always just run your finger or something like a poker tool along to make sure that that's nicely stuck. Then we want to pop those two pieces, the side pieces, in the sort of gusset of the bag, and then simply fold the base over, get that evenly, and then fold this one over and push down to stick that. And again, you can pop something like the handles of your scissors inside just to give it a good press. And if you get anywhere like this, can you see there's a little bit of an edge coming over? Trim it out at this stage. This is where we neaten up anything that doesn't look right. You don't have to do it at the beginning, we're doing it at this point. So I then fold those two in, and you can see there I have the basics of the sort of bag, or again you could just put a clip on top and use it as a box. And then you would decorate it however you want. So here I've used some of the mini cornflowers and the mini leaves on the front here, and a few more stars from the set to give me a really nice sort of look to the front. And all I then need to do is to punch the holes through. So I'm going to use my crocodile, and what you want to do is just make sure that your holes go through about 1 inch in. What you can do is to make a little mark if you want to, but use the gusset mark where the side comes in. You don't want to punch through that bit, so I'm going to punch there and there, again so that I don't go into that point. And to thread the ribbon through, all I do is, I've got a fine ribbon here, is go through what the front, straight through to the back, come back through into the center, just like that. I'm then going to take this piece and go through the front again, and then I'm just going to gauge that until I'm happy that that's about right. And we simply then double knot, so put 2 knots in the middle. You can do individual handles, but I find it's a lot better if I do it this way, because they don't pull out and you have to start securing ribbon inside. So this way, if I snip this off, you can see that they're completely secured in, and I've got plenty of room to get things into there. But then pull those up, and then when I'm ready, I would just tie those 2 handles together, which is why I've made them a little bit longer, to give me a nice little bow on top. Or you could leave them as handles. So I've got the bow on top. So that's the simple way to use 1 sheet of A4 card to make yourself a really nice little gift bag, which you could fill with chocolates or sweets or a little mini handmade card or anything like that. Enjoy.